Welcome to Business Success Tips, where you learn to make more money in less time and have a lot more fun. My name is Paul Sanneman. I'm your host. I'm founder of Contractor Staffing Source, where we help contractors build great teams. My guest today is Brian Kernohan from Lumin.ai. So, AI is a big subject. It's a big thing. It's everybody talking about it. So, Brian, tell me a little backstory and what Lumin.ai actually does.
Yeah, thanks for the invitation, Paul. I appreciate it. So Lumin.ai, we are a services organization. So we accelerate lead conversion with real-time AI engagement. So what that means is Lumin.ai boosts sales by automating your lead follow-up and scheduling by texting in real time. The service provides 24/7 responsiveness by using conversational AI, and it seamlessly integrates with your calendar and CRM, and that allows your sales team the first to establish that crucial human relationship in turning your prospects into customers.
Okay, so um, I guess, AI is getting better all the time. In fact, one of my friends, I think his girlfriend's AI, but he doesn't know it just because I have these conversations all the time. So it's getting better all the time. I mean, it's amazing. So tell me an actual use case of a client that used it and how it works so it gets more like real for these people listening to the
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah, absolutely. Great question. So a typical customer of ours is using our technology because their revenues depend on establishing that one-to-one contact with prospects early in the sales cycle, and the contact isn't a slam dunk. So customers have a usually reasonably well-structured sales process, but they have discovered that the communication landscape has changed, and many people have stopped answering their phones and ignoring emails, and they prefer text. And this isn't just isolated to any particular age group or persona. It's happening with all people. And wanting to text is neither a sign of disengagement nor a sign of introversion, but it's the preferred method of how people like to engage. And I'm not sure if you're similar to me, but if I don't know who's calling me, I don't answer the phone. So obviously, emails, they get around 10 or 15% response rate, but everybody looks at their texts. So that's the preferred method of engagement. So we have a typical customer, and I'll use one in the home building vertical. That's where you and I met. Paul was
Right,
at the IBS show.
right.
Um, we have a home builder here in Florida, where I'm located, and they are using our technology as part of an omni-channel approach to follow up on Realtor.com, Zillow, and their own chat website leads. And
Mhm.
we worked with them, and we put the branding in the text, and ideally, the lead goes, into their CRM immediately, that they paid for, and it's a competitive situation. The CRM triggers Lumin.ai via, the CRM's API. We
Mhm.
read their calendar availability, determining if the person wants to just have a qualification call with their OSC, or they will actually want to get into the model home and meet with a sales agent. So we look at the calendar availability from the type of appointment that they want to make. As I mentioned, we've co-authored the branding, so they know the brand the best, but we know texting behavior. So we use conversational AI. That's everything that happens in the handset. That's the sexy AI stuff that has specifically been built by us. It's been in production for over 6 years, just to make an appointment. So with this AI, we can completely automate the appointment setting process. So once our technology has engaged with the prospect, we agreed on the time, we update the CRM, we update the sales rep's calendar, and we send the meeting invite to the prospect. Because it's bi-directional, we can also see if the OSC or Calendly or some other way that they want to engage with the prospect. If the appointment is made via another channel, we acknowledge that and stand down. And then for all the appointments that are made, we send like a 24-hour and a 1-hour appointment confirmation via text as well. And that's also a great white space, marketing opportunity to promote the brand and introduce the sales contact, and that increases show rates as well.
Right.
So,
Now,
yeah, go ahead, Paul.
Chris, now do you just use text, or is there like an AI person that calls them, or is it voice or just text?
It's just text. And as I mentioned, it's conversational AI. We say right up front that this is an automated texting solution. We're not replacing people. We're just helping them be more effective. And appointments just kind of, show up on their calendar. So with that first customer we use, and I'll give them a plug, it's Southern Homes of Polk County here in Florida. Their lead to appointment conversion ratio was about 14%. Using our technology over the first 6 weeks, we almost tripled that to over 40%.
Wow.
And what we discovered, they have about 8 or 9 communities, and they have a rotating roster of sales reps that work in all of the communities, and they have one OSC. This allowed them to deal with so many more leads and so many more appointments, without increasing the size of their sales team. So
Okay. Now,
yeah.
if it does all the text, does it say that it's AI or not, or does it have to?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it acknowledges it right up front. It's the first thing we do. So as a part of setting up the service, we work with the campaign registry, which is mandated by the TCPA, where we submit to them that this is the brand that we're working with, and all of these people have opted in, and we say right up front that this is an automated solution.
So now let's say that the client either they call, how does the original, like they got, say, home builders, we got a lot of remodels here. Maybe the
Yeah.
client will engage, fill out a form, they make a phone call. There's there's probably 2 ways: email, phone call, and text, right? Or fill out a
Yes.
form.
Yep.
That's about it. So
Yes.
they engage in one of those 4 methods, and then you take it from there.
Yep, exactly. So if somebody goes on to a home improvement or home builder website, they fill out a form, they're opting into text at that form. Usually that goes into their CRM, and the CRM triggers us immediately. So we're shocked at the number of people that are shopping for a contractor or new 2,000 square feet of hardwood flooring at 3 o'clock in the morning. The ability, if you go into something like an Angie, that they're selling that lead multiple times. If you have, the engagement immediate, you can actually set the appointment if the person, responds to that initial text right after they submit the lead. Usually it's in about 15 seconds. It happens that fast. That the appointment will get made for the next day before someone can even, your competitors can even, phone and follow up.
Because speed to lead is in seconds, not minutes, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
and we do the same thing. Like when people apply for a job, we're back to them in 10 seconds. We know that's crucial because, the first stare usually wins because,
Yes.
people are searching for something and they're in a hurry. And the minute they get, if they apply for a job or they apply and they get back in 5 seconds, then they just keep going. They make an appointment, make it happen.
Yep, exactly. So I did want to talk to you a little bit about what we learned at the International Builder Show.
Okay, great.
So we I wouldn't say we're new to the home builder space, but we've been working with Southern Homes for a while. But we actually did a mystery shopping campaign. I did it myself last summer for 50 similar sized builders, and the results were kind of shocking to say the least. So we gave a letter grade to each of the companies because we submitted a form on their homepage, and we tracked the responses in the first 7 days via email, call, or text. And what we discovered was, of the 50 odd companies, 40% responded by calling me, 67%, or 2/3 of them, emailed me back. Only 27% texted, The shocking thing was only 12% actually did all three.
Hmm.
So we talk about omni-channel engagement with prospects because you don't know how they prefer to, engage with
Right.
you. We recommend people that actually do and should do all three.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
So you
The other
should
thing
email,
I was going
text,
to
and
say,
call because you never know what communication the person's going to use, right?
exactly, exactly. So the other thing that stunned me, and these are, 50 odd builders, um, 30% of them never responded at all. There was no phone calls, no emails, and no texts. So, it's kind of ironic that, people are generating traffic to their websites and no one in marketing or sales is following up with them, 30% of the builders. So that was kind of surprising.
Surprising because people spend a lot of time and money and energy to get the lead. It's surprised they don't follow up.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So, with those results, uh, so what we did, if somebody didn't respond at all, we gave them an F letter grade. If somebody just used one modality or just one type of stream to contact me, they got a D. If they use two modalities, they got a C. As I mentioned, if they use all three, they got a B. And if they use a solution like Southern Homes that was completely automated, 7 by 24, they were given an A. And
Mhm.
we submitted those results to the nationals on behalf of Southern Homes, and they won a silver award for best use of technology, and they were, celebrated at the conference last month. So we
Great.
were really proud of the work that we did with them.
How much does this cost? It can't be that expensive. And maybe that's my
Yeah,
thought, but what is it?
yeah,
Let's say I'm not a big home. Let's say I'm a remodeling contractor. I do 3, 4 million a year. Um, and I get, I don't know, pick a number, 3 leads a day or something, not a huge amount, right?
yeah,
And so what does it cost for your service to work with somebody like that?
yeah. So the good news is, and we're unique, and we're seeing this more and more in the AI space, that the services like what we offer are driving positive business outcomes. So if you look at the positive business outcome is, I'm generating 100 leads a month, I'm getting 20 appointments. I know from every, 10 appointments I get one sale. If we can help move that needle, then we think that is the best way to be partners in a long-term partnership. So we don't charge based on the number of leads that we process. We don't charge by the number of texts that we send. We actually charge if we make an appointment on your behalf. So it's performance-based billing.
That's unusual. That's great.
It is. It reduces the risk. Now there is a monthly subscription. The starting point is $1,000 a month, and that includes the first 25 appointments. It's very
Okay.
similar to your cellular plan. If we make 26
Right.
appointments, we'll charge you the one extra on the a la carte basis. And
Hmm.
it's very scalable. So we work with companies that are at the 25 entry point, and some companies, national flooring chains with 200 locations around the country are
Right.
substantially higher than that.
Right. Right.
Yeah, yeah. The higher the subscription, the lower the average price per appointment as well. Yeah.
Right. So basically, it's a minimum of $1,000 a month, and there's 20 appointments for that. And then what happens, just curiosity, if they don't get 20 appointments? Do you try to figure out why, or do you work on that, or I'm just curious?
Absolutely. Yeah. So we produce a shockingly number of stats regarding the conversion rates, regarding conversion rates by lead source, time to first appointment, uh, so time to setting the appointment, the duration between the lag time between the availability of the appointment, that allow us to tweak, the service. So as an example, some customers, uh, if they're doing a telephone consultation or an estimate as the first touch point,
Right.
they can say, if you give me 10 minutes, I'm available. So you know what? If a lead came in and 2 o'clock was available on my calendar, go ahead and book it. I'll deal with it. Some companies like to set it up so it's a day later. So dispatcher can actually call and confirm the night before and qualify and do those types of things.
Mhm.
There's so many variables that can be put in the system, and we provide, stats on just about everything associated with the usage and the platform. So we
Okay.
work very closely hand in hand with, the sales team and the marketing team to drive what the type of behavior that the customer wants.
Okay. Now, do they have to, I mean, do they have to have a CRM like HubSpot or Go High Level or something, or do
Yeah.
you,
So it helps if there's a CRM. It does not have to work with a CRM. We populate everything real time into Google Sheets. If you've got one person who is handling all of the coordination, they can work without a CRM. But I'll give you a couple of examples of how the CRM really helps the prospect experience. The first is if somebody decides to opt out. So they've submitted a lead and they've opted out. We can populate that Google Sheet immediately, but someone's going to have to check that and go in and see if it's integrated with the CRM. The lead record populates that, immediately.
right,
Same thing if we make, the appointment, or the sales team makes the appointment. If it's triggered through a CRM, we'll know to stand down immediately, so we're not bothering the customer with re-engagements if they've already made an appointment. So it
right.
will work, but it really sings if you use a CRM. And it's basically, as you mentioned, HubSpot. We actually use HubSpot ourselves, so it's integrated quite tightly. It's a good platform. The workflows, we kind of do that almost out of the box with that. But as long as it's a CRM that has an open API, there's only 5 or 6 calls we need to make each way, and it
Okay.
works real fast.
Okay. Well, if people are interested in, working with you, how do they contact you and find out if it makes sense for their company?
Yeah. So going to Lumin.ai, that's our company website. There's a request a call or request a chat button, and that will actually take you to a form that is exactly similar to what your prospects would go through themselves. So you put in your
And my
name.
guess, you're going to text me right away.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So as soon as you put, first name, last name, company, put in your mobile number, you click the consent to text, hit the button, within 15, 20 seconds, you will get a text back, and it'll be on my calendar, and it'll already know my availability, and it'll, work with you. So you'll see
I'm
exactly
glad
what
you're eating your own
prospect.
dog food, as they say, right? That's a good thing.
Absolutely, yes. Yep.
Okay, cool.
It's a great point. Even part of the process is once an appointment is set up within 24 hours in advance, a reminder, there'll be a little 20-second video from me introducing myself, talking about how excited we are to talk about the opportunity, and to learn more about your process as well as Lumin.ai. And that's building the bond of that relationship. What we've discovered and the stats have shown is if you kick off the relationship that way to start, there's a higher inclination to keep the meeting, not cancel, not be a no-show.
Um,
It's all about building that trust and relationship as quickly as possible. And that's how
okay.
conversational AI is helping people like me be more successful. It's not replacing me,
So,
it's making me more effective.
So a lot of people listening to this are probably smaller companies, and so you're probably, is this going to work for you or not? Are you too small? Are you big enough? To me, that's a conversation they need to have with you because they're don't know what they don't know, right?
Yep.
And so
Yep.
they may think they're too small, they may not know. So my suggestion is you call Brian because he's going to say, look, you guys are too small, it doesn't work for us, or you're the right size, or we can modify stuff. But if you're not using this kind of technology, you don't know whether it's appropriate or not. You don't even know what you don't know. So it's important to call somebody. Does that make sense?
It really does. One of the breakout sessions that I attended at IBS talked about AI and learn, discover. It can be really helpful. It can be very powerful, but it can also be a little overwhelming. And some of the technologies are risky representing your brand, right? So
Right.
you wouldn't want to use
And also,
necessarily.
you can get in a whole lot of trouble if you don't follow the rules and you text people.
Yep, that's a big one. Yeah, absolutely right.
The
Um,
fines are incredibly high. So
they are. Well, and that's the thing. Part of our service is we handle all of that for you on your behalf with the campaign registry.
because
So
you
you,
have to have all that, because, just don't try this on your own because it's, I don't know, like thousand, some stupid number per call if somebody
Yeah,
gets upset, right?
yeah, absolutely right,
So
Paul.
you got to follow the rules, and somebody can, Brian, help you follow the rules. I think it's a good technology, but again, you have to know what you know, what you need to know, and you have to follow the rules in order to use it effectively. So
Yep.
thank you, Brian, for being here. If you're considering this at all, I'd give Brian a call or go to his
Yep.
website and see how it works for you, right?
Lumin.ai. Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, appreciate your time, Brian.